Hello friends, welcome back to the journey of microbiology. Till now we discussed about the immunology, what is immunology, their branches, and we also studied about the immunity, and then we classified the immunity into the two types. First one is called as acquired immunity and another one is innate immunity. Okay, so first we will see our slides, go through the slides, and then we will switch on to study the acquired immunity. Okay, now see the slide. As I described earlier, that immunology is the branch of medicine. It's a branch of medicine, and for more specifically if we talking, then it's a branch of infectology, which deals with the study of infections. So immunology is the branch of medicine that studies the immune system, encompassing the body's defense mechanisms against pathogens, the regulation of immune responses and their role in various disease diagnostic and therapeutic interventions. Clear? That's a basic definition of immunology. Immunology deals with the basic understanding of the defense mechanism, then how immune system is reacting towards the pathogens, and also the diagnostic and therapeutic interventions. Now, study the all aspect of immune system in all organisms. It's a study of all the aspect of the immune system in all the organisms, not it's only restricted to the humans, it also deals with the other creatures, other organisms. Immunology has applications in numerous disciplines of medicine, particularly in the field of organ transplantation, oncology, which is a study of cancer, rheumatology, study of the rheumatoid arthritis, okay, then virology, you know, that's the study of viruses, bacteriology, study of bacteria, parasitology, psychiatry and dermatology. See, these are the branches of medicine, okay, and you know that these branches first describe the normal human physiology, the normal function of the organs, but due to the interaction of some of the pathogens and also the foreign particles, body on cellular debris, okay, these things can react with our cells, basically the immune cells, and produces some of the signs and symptoms which eventually result into a disease. So the immunology also cover all those diseases. Clear? Now, branches of medicine. For ease of study, for easy to understand the immunological concept, we divided immunology into the various branches, okay, such as clinical immunology. Clinical immunology is important in the understanding of the diseases, okay. Then we have immuno-oncology. Immuno-oncology deals with the study of immune system with respect to the cancerous cells, with respect to the diverse cancerous cells. Clear? Then we have immunopathology, okay, which deals with the pathological diseases. Now, we have another branch called immunochemistry. Immunochemistry is the study of immune system chemistry. In the subsequent lecture, you will able to understand that our immune cells secreted some of the substances, mainly the antibodies, and those antibodies have the chemical compositions, okay. So we will understand the detailed description of their chemical natures, and those understanding of chemical natures is come under the branch of immunochemistry. Hope you understand this. Now, we have another branch called immunomics. Immunomics are also called as immunogenomics. Immunogenomics is basically the study of immune system with respect to the immune cell genetics, Clear? Then we have psychoneuroimmunology, which deals with these psychiatric diseases and how in the case of psychiatric diseases the immune system is altered. Either it will be the over in production, or either it will be the down in the productions, okay, or sometimes we can say the maladaptive function of the immune system in the case of neuropsychiatric disorder. Then we have immunotoxicology. See, we ingested some of the substances. Unfortunately, someone ingested some undesirable substances, okay, some undesirable body substances. Then those undesirable body substances, we call it toxins, okay. So those toxins are not desirable for us, okay. They are not, we can say, the susceptible to us. So they surely create immune reactions. They surely interfere with our normal, we can say, the metabolic functions, okay. So under what happened when we inhale or ingested or come in the contact with the toxic substance, all those interaction is studied under the branch of immunotoxicology. Hope you understand it. Now we have nutritional immuno-oncology. There are substantial studies which shows that if someone is immunocompromised, it means they have surely the shortage of some of the nutritive things. So you know that vitamin C play a very pivotal role in the case of enhancing the immune cells. We have the thymus gland. Those thymus gland is concerned with the maturation of the T cell, okay, and thymus gland, you know, it secretes the thymosin, a hormone, and those hormones is formed by the metabolites, and those metabolites must come from the nutrition, okay. So if someone is, we can say, the deficient in the nutrition or nutrition deficiency is there, then their immune system is compromised. Their immune system is compromised, okay. So all those things we have studied under the branch of nutritional immunology, okay. Then we have the reproductive immunology. You know, there are something called BPH, okay. These benign prostatic hypertrophy. This benign prostatic hypertrophy is a disease of prostatic gland, okay, and in this disease there is a reaction between the antigens. They produce some of the antigens. So those diseases comes under the reproductive immunology. Clear? Apart from all these branches, you know, when the organ transplantations happened, when one organ from the recipient to transfer to the donors, there is something called tissue matching or histocompatible matching, okay. On that very moment, if our tissue is not matched with the recipient, we can say the tissue, a donor tissue is not accepted the recipient tissue, then there is one reactions happen, and those reaction is called the immune reaction, okay, immunohistocompatible reactions, and that result even into the death. They are the fatal in nature. Clear? Now immunity, see the slide. Immunity, the immune system is broad sense a mechanism that allow a living organism to discriminate or differentiate between the self and non-self. I already told that our immune system are the one who knows what is there on and what is there not on, okay. Clear? Then the immune system is designed to execute rapid, specific and protective response against the foreign pathogens, okay. They are designed to execute the rapid, specific and protective response against the foreign substances. It might be the pathogens, the foreign substance, cellular debris, okay, some of the, we can say, the allergens, okay, all those things, carcinogens, all are our pathogenical agents, okay, our foreign pathogens. Immunity is defined. The term immunity is defined as the capacity of the body to resist the pathogenic agent, okay. In general day-to-day life, you are saying that someone is immune. Immune means the resistive power towards the pathogenicity, towards the disease causing ability of the pathogens. The overall ability of the host to fight the disease causing organism confirmed by the immune system is called immunity. Clear? Now, we discussed that there are two types of immunity. There are two types of immunity. The first category we inherited from our mothers in the form of gene, which result into the expression of various kind of cellular barriers, physiological barriers, physical barriers and cytokinins. Okay, these are the some of the four barriers. The first one is physical barrier, then we have the physiological barrier, then we have the cytokinin barrier and then cellular barriers. These barriers are inherited from the parents. Okay, they have the inheritable property, or in another way we can say those defense mechanisms which present since from the birth, that category of defense mechanism is considered or called as the innate immunity or inborn immunity. They are also called as non-specific immunity because they are the one who go first to react or to resist the pathogens to come or to enter in the human body. You have, I already told you, no, you have the physical barrier, the skin, the mucous membrane which lining the major GIT tract, respiratory tract, your oral mucosa. Okay, then you have the physiological barrier, mouth in saliva. Okay, you have the HCl, the high pH, okay, earwax, tear in the lysozymes. Okay, all those things are called as physiological barrier. Then you have the cellular barrier, those three types of cells, monocyte, okay, then you have macrophages and you have the neutrophils. Then you have the cytokinins, and those cytokinins which secrete the interferons to destroy the viral infected cells. Clear? Now, as I told that innate immunity is a non-specific type of defense that is present from the time of the birth. Now, types of innate immunity. These types of innate immunity is classified under the four barriers. The first one is called as a physical barrier. Skin on our body is the main barrier which prevent entry of microorganism. Mucus coating of the epithelial lining of respiratory, gastrointestinal and urogenital tract also help in trapping the microbes which entering the body. Then we have physiological barrier, acid in the stomach, saliva in the mouth, tears from eyes, all prevent microbial growth. Okay. Then we have cellular barriers, neutrophils, monocytes, macrophages ingest and destroy the microorganism and foreign body by the phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is the process by which our cells are capable to engulf, to eat the cellular debris or a microorganism. Clear? Then we have cytokinins. These cytokinins barriers are basically involved in the virus infected cells. These cytokinins is a type of specialized WBC, not a WBC, it's actually a protein. It's a specialized protein which secrete the interferons, and these interferons destroy the viral infected cell and prevent the further viral disease prognosis, okay, disease occurring. Now, we have acquired immunity which we will discuss today. Okay. Now, see the board. Acquired immunity. As the name suggests, acquired immunity. Acquired immunity are those category of immunity which we acquired over a period of time. Okay. See, our body first come on this planet as it is, as our like we comes from the mothers and fathers by and express our body functions according to programmed genetic machinery. Okay, genetic machinery. But when we are exposed to the new environment, okay, our body have the capability to adapt the things and make our life, make our survival. Okay, so this is also called as adaptive immunity. That's why they are also called as the adaptive immunity. Adaptive immunity. Adaptive immunity. Okay, these immunity, they are not go blindly as our innate immunity goes. Okay, innate immunity, remember, keep in always in your mind, forget everything but keep one thing, that's the first line of immune defense. The inborn or innate immunity is the first line of defense mechanism. Okay, means anything if comes in our body, first will they come into the play, and then next these cells are coming. Okay, why? You will understood by understanding this lecture. See, this adaptive immunity, they are not go blindly. Okay, they are particular in nature, they are specific in nature. Okay, some of the adaptive immunity cells, they only destroy the bacteria, not destroy the other organism. Okay, they are specific towards the antigens, so they are also called as specific immunity. Because they are specific, so they have to suffer a lot. Because they are specific, they have to suffer a lot. You see the specific peoples who are determined, they suffer a lot as a general peoples. Okay, so that the same life story applies here also, that they are specific in nature because they destroy the specific type of antigens. Okay, specific type of antigen. These acquired immunity comes from the specialization of lymphocyte, Now, from the previous lecture, you know that lymphocyte is basically a class of leukocyte, or we call it as a WBC. So all the cells which involved in the adaptive type of immunity, they comes from the differentiation or specialization of the WBC, or more specifically we call it the lymphocytes. Understood? Now, the one fundamental things which differentiate acquired immunity and inborn immunity is that they work on the basis of memory. It means if these acquired immune cell destroy the first time any pathogen, okay, then those responses is stored. Inside the immune cells, and keep it alive. Again, if the same pathogens comes, these cells again come into the picture and they destroy the cells. Okay, they destroy in a very regressive way. Okay, very fast way, because they have the previous memory. They know which kind of cells they have to be sent to destroy the coming cellular particles or foreign particles, or we can say the antigens. Okay, so they have the memory cell. They work on the principle of memory cell. And you know, because they have the memory cell, that's why whenever we are vaccinated, means we are developing our acquired immunity. We are developing our acquired immune cells. Okay, we are vaccinated with so many things, primarily with the BCG injections. Okay, from the birth, then DPT, then there are so many vaccines: tetanus vaccine, anti-rabies vaccines, okay, polio vaccines. There are so many types of vaccines. So those vaccines create what? Those vaccines create the memory cell, so that if any pathogens comes, body don't need to take so much time. They work in a very regressive way, very fast way, and destroy the antigen or destroy the particular pathogens. Clear? Now, coming to their types, the acquired immunity, as I told, they are just a lymphocyte, a specialized lymphocyte. Okay. Now, if they are a specialized lymphocyte means they fall into the two categories, okay, two types. We have the B cell, or we can call B lymphocyte. B lymphocyte, okay, and another cell we have T lymphocyte. These are the two classes. These are the two classes of lymphocyte, okay, which produce from bone marrow, okay, which produce from the bone marrow. Remember, T lymphocyte is purely produced from the bone marrow, but B lymphocyte is case of, we can say, the embryonic stage, okay. In the embryonic stage, these B lymphocyte are developed or produced by our liver cells, okay. In the case of our embryonic period or fetal life, these B lymphocytes are produced from the liver, but in the mature state, when we are becoming the mature, this B lymphocyte is also produced from the bone marrow. Clear? So about the B lymphocyte, first things you keep in your mind is that in the case of fetal life, fetal stage, okay, in the case of fetal stage, it is produced from the liver, okay, but in the mature state, or we can say the adolescent stage, mature stage, it is produced from the bone marrow. Clear? Bone marrow. Now coming to the T lymphocyte. T lymphocyte, they are produced only from the bone marrow. They are produced only from the bone marrow. They are only produced from the bone marrow. Clear? Now, B lymphocytes are the one who express their expression by the antibodies, okay, by the antibodies. But T lymphocytes, they will further process themselves in the thymus gland, You know about thymus gland, okay. I will tell you some short story about the thymus gland. Thymus gland is present in the mediasternum area of our heart, posterior aspect of the sternum. Sternum is a one dagger shaped bone, okay, and behind the sternum, this gland, the thymus gland, is present, okay. Thymus gland is mainly concerned with our immune system, okay. That's why they are called as primarily lymphoid organs, okay. The thymus gland is called primary lymphoid organ. In this thymus gland, this T lymphocyte will differentiate, proliferate, mature and become active. Three things. First one is differentiate, proliferate, okay, and then become the mature. All those things happens inside the thymus gland. That's why this kind of lymphocyte is also called as T lymphocyte, or if we expand this T, it's also called as the thymocyte, okay. It's also called the thymocyte. So thymocyte, lymphocyte. Understanding the meaning, this both are produced from the bone marrow, okay, but the T lymphocyte need to be further specializations, okay. They are not active. If prematurely only from the bone marrow T cells comes and go to the antigens, okay, they are not no more functional. They will destroy, antigen will destroy the T lymphocytes, okay, they are not a functional. For functional purpose, it must have to go to where? The thymus gland, okay. That's the whole story about the T lymphocyte. Now coming to the B lymphocyte. B lymphocytes, they are also processed, okay, but their processing is different. Their processing is entirely different from the T lymphocyte. Clear? Why B? Okay, because this B lymphocyte is first discovered. B lymphocyte is first discovered in the brusa part of the one bird. Clear? Now, after understanding this B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte, the types of the acquired immunity, we will see our slides and then we will move ahead, okay. So coming to the acquired immunity, as I told, acquired immunity is the resistance, okay, developed in the body against any specific, remember, keep this word, specific foreign body like bacteria, viruses, toxins, vaccine or transplanted tissue. You know the tissue resections during the grafting, or we can say the organ transplantations, they are just, I already initially I told, no, they happen just because of this acquired immunity. Okay. Then it is the most powerful immune mechanism. It's the most powerful immune mechanism that protects the body from the invading organism or toxic substances. If you compare the acquired immunity with your immune immunity, they are the one who is the most powerful. Okay, they are the one who is the most powerful. Lymphocytes are responsible for acquired immunity. I told you that lymphocyte is the one who differentiate, make their specialization and involved in the acquired immunity system. Okay, it is characterized by the memory. Now coming to their types of acquired immunity, we have two types. Okay, I forget to tell you one thing, that the T cells is called also as a cellular immunity. Okay, we classified cellular immunity. This cellular immunity is come from the T lymphocyte. Another word you can say it as a cellular immunity. Okay, then the another name for the B lymphocyte is humoral immunity. Okay, it's a B lymphocyte. Clear? Now we will see the development and processing of lymphocyte. As I told, in the fetus, lymphocytes develop from the bone marrow. Okay, all lymphocytes are released in the circulation and are differentiated into the two categories. First one is the T lymphocytes and second one is the B lymphocyte. T lymphocyte is involved in the cellular immunity, whereas the B lymphocyte is involved in the humoral immunity. See, why humoral? Humoral words denotes the blood, means these B lymphocytes destroy the blood, we can say the pathologies, the blood coming agents inside the blood. Okay, and in the cellular immunity, the T lymphocyte perform the cellular immune function. Clear? Now coming to the T cell. Now we are discussing the first part of acquired immunity, that's called the T lymphocyte, or you can also call it as a T cell. So T lymphocyte, or we can also say is a T cell simply. As I told, they produce, the production is done by the bone marrow. Production is done by the bone marrow. But their further specialization is done in the, very good, thymus gland. One thing you know about the thymus gland is that in the fetal life, this gland is a pear-shaped organ. Okay, this gland is pear-shaped organ present behind the sternum, in the mediasternum area, and they starts atrophy. Atrophy means shrinking their size. Okay, and till the puberty they become the very minute. It's about the thymus gland. Okay, so the thymus gland make the T cell specialized. And what is the mean by specialization? Why specialization is needed? Specialization is needed for the various purpose. Okay, first is that it make T cells to have their own receptor. It make the T cells to have their own receptor. Suppose there are one cell, suppose this is a one cell. Okay, and if any antigen is coming to their way, how it will recognize that it is the antigen? How it will differentiate that it is the antigen? There must a need of something in the cell which differentiate that, okay, it is the antigen. It's not a desirable thing for our body. It's not a beneficial thing for our body. So I will destroy it. So for that, it needs something which recognize that, okay, this is a foreign particles. So these recognition specializations, we call it a receptor formation, is done by the thymus gland. Okay, thymus gland secrete one hormone called thymosin, and this hormone is involved in the making of this receptor, or we can say the specialization process. Okay, it not only makes cell have their own receptor, but it also classify or differentiate the T lymphocytes into the various types. I will repeat it again, that it not only make cells to have the receptor, but it also make T lymphocyte or classified T lymphocytes into the various classes. Okay, now abnormalities, if the thing is normal, it will be abnormal in future also. So the things happens also in the T lymphocytes. If T lymphocytes goes over in number, that's called the overproduction of the T lymphocyte in the case of autoimmune disorders like the rheumatoid arthritis. Write down that the T lymphocyte overproduction is happen in the case of rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. Clear? Then their underproductions under the immunodeficiency, primary immunodeficiency. Okay, and their maladaptation, or we can say the uncontrolled proliferation in the case of lymphoma. Lymphoma is a cancer of lymphocyte. Okay, I will write. You understood these things? I will describe it in detail in our further lecture, but for a while just you understand that there is something called T lymphocyte, okay, which comes from the bone marrow, and they will make their differentiation and specialization in the thymus gland. Okay, so we are discussing that there may be overproduction, There may be underproduction, underproduction, and there may be we can say the uncontrolled proliferation. Uncontrolled proliferation. Proliferation. C. The overproduction. Overproductions. Remember, whatever the autoimmune diseases, there are so many autoimmune diseases. Okay, now I am taking the one example, rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, these are autoimmune diseases for our joints, arthritis, joints, and in the case of autoimmune diseases, the number of T lymphocytes goes higher. The number of T lymphocytes goes higher in the case of what? Autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune diseases. Example is rheumatoid arthritis. Clear? Now, the underproduction. You know that if a person is nutritionally deficient, or we can say if their immune system is not a functional, that's called the primary immunodeficiency, then the number of the T lymphocytes goes down. The number of T lymphocyte goes down. That's called the we call the primary immunodeficiency. Primary, I am writing like this, that's the primary immunodeficiency. Immunodeficiencies. And you know, or maybe you don't know, I don't know, the uncontrolled proliferation. Controlled proliferation is one of the fundamental or a basic characteristics of our cell. Okay, that cell division and cell cycle is highly regulated or a controlled phenomenon which occurring inside the body. But you know, when cell not control their proliferations, their multiplication, their growth, that result into the very good cancer. So the uncontrolled proliferation also happen in T lymphocyte. Uncontrolled proliferations also happen in the T lymphocyte, and that condition is called lymphoma. The cancer of lymphocyte, lymphoma, Lymphoma, lymphoma. Clear? Now, if we are talking about their number, then the normal range of T lymphocyte is 500 to 1600 per ml. Yeah, it's a per microliter. Clear? That's a number of T lymphocyte present in our blood, peripheral blood. Now, coming to the B cell, I am not going into detail in the T lymphocyte. We will discuss the T lymphocyte detail in our another video. For just understood the B lymphocyte now. Okay, what is a B lymphocyte? As I told you that B lymphocytes in fetal life produce from our what? Very good, liver, and the further maturations happen in the further productions happen in the bone marrow. Further production happen in the bone marrow. Okay, so we are discussing the B lymphocyte. B lymphocyte. Their production, as you understood, in the liver, in fetal life, and in the bone marrow, in the bone marrow, in the case of our mature life state. Okay, that's their production. Now, coming to understand why they are called B lymphocyte, because the brucia is the one lymphatic organ present in the bird. That's why they are called as the B lymphocyte, because they are first discovered in the brucia gland of the B lymphocyte. Okay. Then the another thing is that they form the humoral part, the humoral immunity. They form the humoral immunity. They form the humoral immunity. Humoral immunity means they are primarily deals with the blood related antigens. They are primarily deals with the blood related antigens. Okay. Then B cell produce antibodies molecules which may be either secreted or inserted into the plasma membrane, where they serve as a part of B cell receptor. Okay. Its B lymphocytes mainly produce the antibody. I told you, no, it's produce the antibody. We will discuss further that classes of antibody are primarily 5 classes of antibody. We will discuss their structures along how they will fight with the pathogens. We will everything discuss in our subsequent lectures. Okay. Now, see the slide first, and then we conclude our today class. We seen the development and the processing of lymphocyte. Then about the T cells. T lymphocytes are processed in thymus. Thymus secrete a hormone called thymosin, which plays an important role in immunity. Okay. The thymosin accelerate the proliferation and activation of lymphocytes in thymus. It also increases the activity of lymphocytes in the lymphoid tissue. Now, just understand lymphoid tissue or lymphoid organs. We have 2 categories of lymphoid organ. Okay. Just for knowledge purpose, keep in your mind, we have 2 types of lymphoid organs. The first one is called primary lymphoid organ. In the category of primary lymphoid organs, 2 things comes. One is your bone marrow, okay, and another one is your, very good, what? The first one is your bone marrow and another one is your thymus gland itself. Okay, these are called the primary lymphoid organ, primarily lymphoid organs. Okay, then you have secondary lymphoid organ also. This secondary lymphoid organ consists of the also again the 2 things, the spleen, your spleen, okay, which is called the reservoir of dead RBC, the spleen, and MALT, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. You have no tonsils. Okay, there is something, one ring is present inside this inside your throat, that's called the Wendel's ring, and these Wendel rings consist of different types of tonsils, like palatine tonsils, different types of tonsils. Those tonsils are called as the MALT, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. Clear? Now come to the again, we are discussing the T cell, that it also increases the activity of the lymphocyte in the lymphoid tissue. I forget to mention one thing, that their storage. Okay, once they are formed, they are mature, then they are not, because there is no if any antigen, any foreign particles in our body, then what these B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes will do? They must have to store safely, because they are precious. They are very highly precious thing. Okay, then their storage is required, no? So for a storage purpose, these T lymphocytes, B lymphocyte, they are stored in those lymphoid organs, lymphoid tissues, okay, such as spleen, also in the MALT, in the your tonsils. Okay, they are kept very safely. That's their place where they are stored. Okay, so the lymphoid tissue activity is also increased by the secretion of the thymosin, the secretion of the thyroid gland which secretes thymus gland which secretes the thymosin. Clear? Now, a typical total T cell count in the peripheral blood, as I told, it's the 500 to 1600 cells to microliter. If there are overproduction resulting to the autoimmune diseases, with the example is rheumatoid arthritis, their underproduction is the primary immunodeficiencies, and their uncontrolled proliferation is called lymphomas. Okay. Then till now we not discussed the types of lymphocyte, we will see in our next lecture, but we discussed the B cell. B lymphocyte takes place in the liver, okay, during the fetal life, and in the mature stage or after the birth, they are produced from the bone marrow. Their function in the humoral immunity component of the adaptive immune system. This acquired immune system is, I told you, that's also called the adaptive immune systems. So they perform the humoral immunity, okay, and the T lymphocyte produce what? Very good, cellular immunity. Now coming to the next things, when memory B cell is activated, when the memory B cell is activated by an antigen, it proliferate and differentiate into the antibody secreting effector cells known as the plasma cells. We will discuss further that this B lymphocyte is mediated, or we can say the channelized by these antibodies, okay, and their type. So just remember there are two types, plasma cell and memory cell, okay. So till now we understood the basic concept of immunology, the classification of immunology, okay. Then we studied the term immunity means, then we defined the immune system, then we discussed about the types of immunity, okay, basically the two types, innate or inborn immunity, and another classes is called as the acquired, or we can say the adaptive immunity, okay. Then we studied the different barrier of innate immunity, physical, physiological, cellular and cytokinin barrier, okay. Then we defined the acquired immunity and discussed already about the types of acquired immunity, or types of, we can say, the adaptive immunity, and why they are called as the specific immunity, and why innate immunity is called as the non-specific immunity. We also defined very shortly about the thymus gland and about the lymphoid organ and lymphoid tissue. Hope you understood today's class. Thank you with having me. Bye. Have a nice day.